Hey gang, this is Brady from Monkey Edge and monkeyedge.com, here to give you another look inside the custom knives and gear field. This week we're going to take a look at a knife maker by the name of Les George. I'm sure many of you are familiar with Les's work. He's known for his super refined and high detail tactical folders. He's been making knives for about the past 15 years and been doing it full time for about the past 3. And one of the unique things about Les is that he served as an EOD team leader with the Marine Corps. He's been all over the world in some of the, frankly, the crappiest places, which really gives him a unique perspective in terms of the design of edge tools and knives and what is expected out of them. One of Les's most popular knives is known as the Rockeye, and he's done several different versions of this. And this week we're going to take a look at the ESR, which stands for Extra Small Rockeye. Many of you guys live or work in an environment where a knife with greater than a 3-inch blade is prohibited, and hell, if you live in New York right now, every knife is prohibited. But nonetheless, so Les has answered that with coming out with the ESR. Problem with a lot of the quote-unquote gent tacs or smaller knives that are kind of on the market is either that in order to scale them down, they've also scaled the material. So you end up with a knife that maybe is not suited for the tasks that its full-size cousin would be. Or you have a knife that's so small you can't hang on to it. Les has really addressed kind of both of these shortcomings with a lot of the smaller knives with the ESR. The ESR has a blade of 2 5/8 inch long, so just under 3 inches, out of 154 cm. They're hand ground by Les. It's got a wicked hollow grind on here. Overall length of the knife is just under 7 inches. So in most jurisdictions you're good to go with carrying this. And as I mentioned before, the great thing about this knife is you are getting essentially a full-size knife in a small package. You still got a great grip, great full-size grip. The stock that this is made out of is over 200 thou thick, which to non-mechanically inclined such as myself, that is just under a 1/4 inch thick. So you're still getting full-size knife stock in this small knife. What that adds up to is really just a pit bull of a small knife. Well suited to any task that a full-size knife would be, just in a little bit smaller package, whether you're in a sheeple environment or just can't carry a larger knife. Great fit and finish. Super strong pocket clip that's not going to bend out the first time that you get it caught in the seat belt. Titanium, nice thick titanium liners. G10 spacer. Just super great small little knife. You notice the texture on this knife, and it's a little bit easier to see on say the OD green or the orange versions here. It's what Les, I said, Les has been using it on several of his knives, and so I called Les. I said, hey Les, I'm going to make a video. What do you call this stuff? And he says, oh, that's the Tephra Pattern. I said, what the hell's a Tephra? So in addition to being a talented knife maker, Les has a bigger vocabulary than I do. Tephra is basically volcanic material that is ejected during an eruption, and it provides a really good grippy surface without being overly aggressive. So it's kind of the best compromise between easy to carry and also give you a good purchase on the knife if you really need to grab a hold of it. Les has also adopted his Tephra Pattern to 1911 grips. This is my gun here from Heirloom Precision. Shout out to Jason Burton, Ted Yost, and Steve Bailey. Shameless plug. But it's really just standing in as a model here for these grips from Les. So he's adapted his Tephra Pattern to the grip here, and this is the George Knives logo that's on it. He does them in several versions. As I flip the gun over here, you can see a version that is not set up for a magwell, has the mainspring housing pin accessible, whereas this one on the tan version, it's covered. And again, the Tephra Pattern gives you great purchase on the gun or the knife without really chewing up your hands. So these are also available from Les. The black version is a little bit harder to see, but it's also got the George Knives logo in there. We look forward to working with him in the future. I know he's got some other super cool stuff coming out. Some of it's a little bit more military themed or geared for servicemen, and some of it will be great for collectors and users here too. So that's about it for this week. We'll be back with more and bringing you the best in custom knives and gear. Thanks for tuning in.